Nigerian government plans to borrow 11 trillion naira as CBN loans to FG hit 20 trillion naira. Welcome to the news, and please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post hot juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. The Nigerian government loans from the Central Bank of Nigeria has hit 20 trillion naira as there are plans to borrow about 11 trillion naira more. The Nigerian government has been borrowing from the Central Bank of Nigeria through ways and means advances to fund budget shortfalls. There has increased borrowings from the Central Bank of Nigeria since Buhari became president in 2015, surging to 2.01 trillion naira from 789.67 billion naira. The Nigerian government has no plan to stop borrowing from the Central Bank of Nigeria as the debt to the bank climbed to 695 billion last month. Business day data from the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that the federal government borrowed 3.15 trillion from the CBN in 7 months at the end of July. World Bank, IMF cry out over excessive borrowings. There have been outcries from several quarters, including the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, over Nigeria's excessive borrowings from the Apex Bank. According to the Debt Management Office, DMO, the Central Bank of Nigeria is not listed as a creditor to the Nigerian government as public debt stock increased by 20.04 trillion in the first quarter of 2022 to stand at 41.60 trillion naira. The World Bank, in its Nigeria Development Update NDU report, said that in the face of heightened risk, the government had kept a business-as-usual attitude that stopped prospect for economic growth and job creation. The international lender stated that funding the physical deficit and trade inhibitions of Nigeria's Apex Bank have continued to fuel inflationary pressures in the country, and they don't care. Inflation had spiked to 19.64% in the latest figures released in July, which is the highest in 17 years and undercut purchasing power of the Nigerian public. Borrowings under Buhari's surge. The Central Bank of Nigeria loans to the Nigerian government via the Ways and Means advance increased by 4.34 trillion naira last year to 17.45 trillion in December. Ways and Means advances is a facility the Central Bank of Nigeria uses to fund the government in periods of interim budget shortfalls, subject to limits allowed by the law. Under Buhari, the Nigerian government has obtained about 19.82 trillion since he became president in 2015. Under Buhari, the Nigerian government has obtained about 19.82 trillion since he became president in 2015. Before Buhari, total CBN loans to the federal government from CBN stood at 789.67 billion, while claims on the Central Bank of Nigeria were 1.48 trillion naira and liabilities to the Nigerian government were 2.01 trillion naira. 2 Nigerian states have the highest debt exposure to China as total debt stock hit $100 billion. News reported that as of November last year, 2 Nigerian states have the highest debt exposure to China, and Nigeria's debt to the Asian country has hit about $3.4 billion. According to data from the Debt Management Office, DMO, the states of Kaduna and Cross River has the highest debt to China given through China's Exim Bank. The states are also exposed to lenders like Japan International Corporation, JICA, India, and KfW Development Bank. Now just imagine how all these things are happening, and the Nigerian government do not care. The debt keeps increasing, and do you know even what is even making the matter worsening? They don't have any plans to service any of these debts. They just want to keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing without any plan to say, okay, make we service this debt. that means the interest will keep yielding and yielding. Imagine. Ha. Buhari and APC don't finish Nigeria. Now, wow, borrowing for consumption rather than production and printing money for sharing. I am telling you. So do you now see why few minutes ago, or should I say a few hours ago, Sheikh Husani came out and say it is BBC that our government is doing. They borrow money. How did he even say they borrow? How did he even explain itself? But he said they were borrowing and sharing money. I'm telling you, imagine we are borrowing for consumption. We are not even borrowing for building things that are going to yield money to even service or clear of this debt. Who does this kind of thing? Who does this kind of thing? That person, I'm not sure say it will be better for this life. The person has really done us dirty. And yet, these people want to come back and continue. Like deep down, they are marketing themselves to Nigeria. And you know what is even very frustrating is that there are actually some people who are thinking that they are the best people, that can rule over this country. I don't know why those people are thinking like that. Sincerely, I'm thinking, okay, even if they collect money, even if they make money from this thing, there are some time your conscience is supposed to prick you, because at the end of the day, you have children. It's very sad. There are times to remember about your country, and you just get really, really sad. Some of those who championed beyond Buhari in 2015 with change slogan did not learn their lessons and championed him in 2019 with the next level mantra. I did tell you, that is even what is more annoying. And they are championing another cause for almost the same person. They are totally blind. Those same people are championing for another APC with Emilio Core mantra to give us Buhari's regime Pro Max, but they will fail this time. There are some people who are doing it. And some of them, you ask yourself, what is our crime? His Excellency, all this money you are packing, all in the name of borrowing, are vanity upon vanity. You cannot take any money to the grave. Is that even what we're talking about? He will certainly live for his future generation, but my owners, is that what he came to Nigeria to do? Is that what he came and he contested? This man contested election 3 times and failed. So he was campaigning to come and loot. I don't know this matter. Inept, fruitless, myopic, inefficient, clueless, and rogue government with zero positive achievement. I guess you're all done calling PDP. Definitely your daft minister of talk has finally gone down. Well, let me say this to you, Nigerians. We can only complain and complain, but we have something to do. There is something we can do. And that thing we can do is to make sure that next year, this does not repeat itself. That we don't make the same mistake. Because we have seen enough. I don't want to believe that we still want to see more. We still want to see more shege before we go tell ourselves, say, this thing don't pass. Water don't pass, Gary. All right, on this note, we've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy.